Right, that's the idea. And so she says, honestly, this is so genius. Our community is now one of the community she built on Skool is our most profitable community because one, we don't run ads to it. At the moment, 234 members of net growth in the first month after playing the Skool games, all organically from Skool discovery page in this community. So one of the cool things about Skool is that it's a platform. And so what that means is that like when you have a community, this ranks in our directory of communities. And so just like Google ranks web pages, we rank communities. And so people will go to learn things. They want to learn how to do plumbing at home, or they want to learn how to fix their roof, or they want to learn how to play ping pong, or the watercolor, whatever. And they go there and click watercoloring groups, and then the groups that come up, they join. But the people who own those groups didn't generate that customer. We did. Again, this is you borrowing off of Skool. And so we can actually help people get customers as well, which is one of the cool things that I like about the platform. She had 234 new members net. So that means net of churn, people who left, and she added 234 without any paid ads. Pretty cool. And so the second reason that it's more profitable is that we haven't promised 24-hour written support and don't deliver it because members are helping members, and it's working amazingly here. I'm really mind blown. This would never have been possible with a Facebook group. It might be the amazing community, the lower cost, or the fact that I can finally reach my own community again, but I'm becoming a super fan. I say that because I think she can say it better than I can, is that if you actually want to have a business, and this is the hard part about being a beginner, is that if you actually are successful, then you will run into new problems later. And so Skool, unfortunately, like for me as a marketer, this is the worst position to market from because no one is suffering from the problem yet, but you will suffer from the problem if you actually win. It's like if you lose weight, you're going to have to change the clothes out of your wardrobe because nothing's going to fit anymore. But people are still so focused on losing weight that they don't think about the next thing. But I'm telling you that if you follow the steps and you become one of the 30%, right, of people who make their first dollar, right, 30.44, make their first dollar, well then when you make your second dollar and fifth dollar and thousandth and 10,000th dollar, quickly you're like, oh shoot, I wish I had started this on a platform that already knew how to scale. And with Skool, you can start the right way from the get-go, rather than have to switch later. And so, big picture, I decided to make this bet on Skool because it was growing without me based on word of mouth. It's harnessing a huge trend in the industry in terms of education overall. I personally know a lot about education, have made a lot of my wealth in education. And so I felt uniquely qualified to help the company grow. Fourth, my brand has been built and my mission has been about making real business education accessible for everyone. And until now, I haven't seen anything that actually really, anybody or any team that even came close to the level of dedication that Skool's team has, and also the level of talent. Exceptionally talented, stacked developer team, like A+ talent. And we're able to make a platform right now that handles currently millions of users every month. Millions, many millions of users every month. And it just works seamlessly. And so for those reasons, and because now I have the data to support this, so just to be really clear, the first four things is why I made the bet. The fifth one, which is what I just showed you, the 30.44% of people who make their first dollar after their first month of Skool, like that's what just gets me even more jazzed that it was the right call. And for those of you who are business owners, as a side note, almost every existing business would benefit from having a community in one place. So whether you're a real estate agent or where you just want to have a place that you can just spoil your customers, they get to know each other, you make introductions, that means you add value. And the cool thing with communities is that the members add value to each other. That's like what the concept of a network effect is there's a network effect. Like people each, when somebody else gets added to the group, it actually adds value to everyone else. So if there's one person in a community, there's no network. If there's two, great. When you add a third person, both of these people benefit from the new party. When you add a fourth person, all three benefit from the fourth. And that's one of the cool parts about this. And so if you're a business owner, and like I said, whether you're a real estate agent or you're a plumber or you're a gym owner or you have a salon and you do hair, it doesn't really matter. Having a place where all your customers can be together without worrying about like the craziness of like Facebook and some of the other social media platforms that exist, and know that you can curate the entire experience just the way you want it, and you can reach 100% of your customers every single time you make a post. And you can reach out to them, you can DM them, you can do all these things. You can host the content, you can have calls, regular basis, all that kind of stuff. And they are incentivized to engage in there. And that's one of the big lifts of the platform, is that people are incentivized to engage. And I'll tell you, it's wildly addicting, because I'm obviously in Skool as well, and I'm in the Skool Games community for everybody who starts. It's 14 days, it's free. I want to see my little ranking go up. I was like, I own the platform. I was like, I gotta fucking have high ranking. And so I'm in there posting and engaging more than I do on any other platform. More or less, that is why I decided to make this big bet and make it public, because I do think this will be my one of the paths that they create $1 billion or plus in net worth. And I hope that people look back at this video and be like, wow, Alex looks so dumb then, but now he's a billionaire, so it sounds cool. And so I wanted to have that. And so I'm committing. I'm going for monthly. I'd like to give updates of the cool stuff that's happening, kind of from a business perspective, so that you can see us build this $1 billion, $10 billion, $100 billion enterprise. So let's do this. So I have my team here. They just heard me talk through that. And so I just told them, write down your questions. And so when I'm done, I'll answer them. And so this is the questions that they had while I was presenting this. So you get it. Like, we really just do this in real time. All right, so shoot.
The traditional education, it's very centralized, right? So it's a big player, billions and billions of dollars. Is the e-learning more distributed? Is it an easier playing field for the little guys who don't know what they're doing yet?
Yeah, 100%. So a lot of markets, basically, it's a cycle of centralization, decentralization that happens over and over and over again. And so right now, like, all the power was centralized. And so if you look at like Rome, right, the Roman Empire, like, it was all centralized. And then you start the barbarians at the gates that are all these tribes that are independently, none of them could take on the power of Rome. But in aggregate, attacking from all these different angles, they just start nibbling away at it. So a lot of empires and centralization doesn't lose in one big coup. I mean, obviously in the political scene, sometimes it does, but it often erodes. So it's little itty bitty snippets, little crumbs that get broken off, but the cookie is so big that the crumbs are actually the size of this building, right? Like, they're big crumbs. And the reason that the smaller competitor can beat the larger competitor right now is two main things. Well, I'll say three. One is, to beat the larger competitor, you don't have to offer more classes than Harvard. You just have to know one thing better than how they teach that one thing, or whether they teach it at all.